This one's for my flat earth friends. Good news, God's a flat earther too. But you probably already knew that, right? Welcome back to Pesky Passages, where your favorite doctrines face serious challenges and we learn to ask better questions along the way. Okay, now, for all of my modern science-believing globe earthers out there, we need to have a talk. It might finally be time to take the plain, flat reading of the Bible seriously. Job 38:14 reads, "The earth takes shape like clay under a seal. Its features stand out like those of a garment." Let's break this down. When Job says the earth takes shape like clay under a seal, he's describing something tactile, something physical. In the ancient world, you didn't sign things with ink. You sealed them. You would press a carved stamp or a cylinder seal into flat, soft clay in order to make an imprint. It was how kings marked authority and how scribes authenticated documents. But here's the key. That only works if the earth is imagined as flat, like a slab of clay that has been pressed down onto parchment with upturned edges encircling the center. And believe it or not, that is exactly how the world was pictured in the ancient imagination. The earth was flat and circular, like a disc. Pillars held up the earth. A solid firmament, called rakia in Hebrew, arched above like a dome. The sun and moon moved across that dome. And beneath the earth, the waters of the deep, and Sheol, the underworld. And finally, God's throne or resting place, which sat just above the dome. This wasn't just metaphor. It was a coherent, full cosmological model. And in Job 38, God is explicitly employing this imagery. Let's be honest. If a true flat earther pulled this verse out as confirmation of their worldview, saying, "Look, the Bible teaches flat earth," most modern Christians would just laugh and roll their eyes and say, "No, that's just poetry. You're taking it out of context." But here's the thing. It's not out of context. It is right in the middle of God's big speech. You know, the one where God reestablishes divine authority by walking Job through the design of the universe. Flat earth, like clay under a seal. The earth's foundations set upon pillars. Doors to hold back the chaotic waters. Channels carved into the firmament to direct rain. Constellations bound and loosened. The great beasts, Behemoth and Leviathan. So the real issue isn't whether the Bible contains this worldview. It's that the Bible depends on it for its theology, which means that it's a metaphor argument doesn't save you. It only sidesteps the deeper reality. Biblical authors described reality as they knew it. Incompletely, incorrectly, but honestly. If inspiration requires scientific precision, then this worldview becomes a problem. But if inspiration has always been rooted in context, culture, and imagination, maybe what we call error was simply ancient authors attempting to understand and make meaning of God and God's creation. As always, you don't have to agree with me, but when you're confronted with new information, you do have to wrestle with it. So what do we do when the Bible reflects outdated science? Does the presence of ancient cosmology undermine divine inspiration, or does it challenge our definitions of it? Is it possible that Scripture was never meant to be scientific in nature, but something else entirely? It's okay to admit the Bible was written in an ancient world. It's okay to admit its authors pictured a flat earth, because that's the world they knew. Maybe inspiration isn't about correcting their science. Maybe it's about faithfully communicating through it. Reading the Bible wisely means honoring its world, not dragging it into ours. If that's the kind of Bible you'd like to read more of, come along. You're welcome here.